A lot of agents through their CRMs won't actually get that information of what emails bounced. So I'm like, right, if I can get their new email address, I'm the only agent contacting them, and the other agents are still just spamming their old email that keeps bouncing back to them.
Oh, that's huge. So many agents are under scrutiny for underquoting.
Yeah.
There's definitely instances of agents not being genuine with their price quotes so that they just attract more buyers, and that's not on.
I think a lot of agents are hiding behind the no price marketing strategy to avoid having that conversation with an owner, trying to find out a range or a guide of to where it needs to be, even just for normal for sale, is a massive issue in the marketplace.
What's your overhead compared to what you see agents running like teams of 3?
There's a team that was writing, I think it was like 1.5 million, was the overheads were costing them like 1.4. So they're turning a $100,000 profit. That doesn't make sense. Where's the economics in that? That team would be better off cutting back one person or two person.
In real estate, everyone's obsessed with growing a big team.
No, it's just a process issue. Just refine the process of what you're doing. You won't actually need to put on a team member.
Agents, welcome to the Get Keen podcast, your #1 destination for learning how to get the most out of your real estate career. I'm Dan Lee, founder of Plum Property, one of Queensland's largest independent real estate offices, and Plum Partners, where we've helped dozens of agents create, run and grow their very own agencies. On Get Keen, I chat to high-performing agents, principals, and agency owners, so you have the tools, strategies, and insights to grow your business and live the best life for yourself and your family. Now let's get keen. Yes, we are back. We are keen. And I've got one of my favorite people in the studio with me. I've worked with this bloke going on 7 or 8 years now.
Yep.
He's a fantastic agent, really switched on dude. He's a REIQ Salesperson of the Year winner twice, 2015, and once for us, it's Plum Property in 2020. That was awesome. He's a very strategic agent. He works solo with the VA, doesn't have a big team, but he's on track to crack $1 million this financial year. And he just runs his business so well. And he's got a great lifestyle with how he does it. Let's give it up for Mr. Brett Andreasson. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, man. Good to be back.
Good to have you here. We're on round 2 with you, mate. I had such good feedback from you last time. One of our clips went bloody viral.
Yeah, that was fascinating to watch.
Yeah, it was. But mate, you're always keeping up with shit. You're always keeping up with tech and like looking at little ways that you can, improve little efficiencies in your business, because it's just you and a VA, right? Yeah. So everything's got to be streamlined. You're all about saving time and doing things efficiently and effectively. What's one of the best sales strategies that you've adopted in the last few years?
Probably the main one was switching over from the normal for sale process to the time sale process, and giving buyers a transparency behind the offer process.
Okay.
Because a lot of people just got sick and tired of the whole guessing game when it came to multiple offers. And in an industry where people are crying out for transparency, I look back years ago, we're going, why not? Why can't we be upfront with people about where offers are and things like that? So that's been probably the biggest game changer that has happened, 2.5, 3 years ago now.
Right. So this time sale, this is like online auction sort of, but it's not
an auction.
It's not an auction. All right. So in the way that it's not a legally binding contract from at the end of the
correct.
timeframe?
So the way it works is it gives every buyer the transparency to be able to place an offer in an environment where everyone can see where everyone's offers are. It can't disclose conditions or things like that because conditions form part of the offer, and a seller might choose a different direction based on where it is. So it may not come down to price, can often come down to conditions. But what the feedback was from the buyers is that they were sick and tired of potentially missing out on a property that they may have bought in a multiple offer situation where the agent said, put in your best offer and good luck, and the buyer's trying to hit a magical figure and hope that they can beat someone else based on whatever there is out there. And like, I remember years ago, I had one in Taringa where we took it over from another agent. We had, 92 buyers come through the property on the Saturday. We had 27 offers come in on it. And on the Sunday afternoon, when I finished the multiple offer, I got abused 26 times.
Yeah.
And my wife looked at me and went, you can't keep doing this, because I spent an hour and a half speaking to 26 buyers who missed out, all with different versions of, why can't you tell me where the offers need to be? What can I do to get the property? And that was really, really frustrating, or like it's huge frustration in the industry.
Sometimes very difficult to deal with because you do want to give everyone a fair chance, but we can't legally share someone else's position with them.
Well,
and here's the thing, right? Yeah, we all experience this. I'm sure every agent listening has experienced this, where you're talking with one buyer, say, "Oh, give your best price." You tell the other buyer, "Give your best price." They both give their best price. One person gets it, and then you tell the other person, "Sorry, you missed out." And they say, "Oh, what did it sell for?" "It sold for this." "Oh, I would have paid that."
Yeah. And the biggest issue there is that as an agent, our fiduciary duty is to get the best price for the owner whilst being fair to the buyers. Now, you can't get the best outcome for the owners if you can't be fair to the buyers.
If you have to be fair to the buyers.
Well, if you can't be fair to them, if you can't give them where the offers are, people they're just guessing. And I missed out on a place myself. We're going back 20 years ago now for $200. So $200, I missed out on it, and the agent sold it to the other person, found out what it went for, and I've said, if I knew, I would have happily have gone more. You didn't do the right thing by your owner. You didn't do the right thing by me as the buyer. You just said, put in your best offer and good luck. And so that's where the frustration was. So I said, right, I need to make this fair to all parties, and that really helped, obviously, days on market. It helped communication with owners. It helped communication with buyers throughout the entire campaign now.
Yeah, because the system's kind of flawed for both sides, right? It's flawed for the agents because we are legally not allowed to tell a buyer someone else's position, right?
Incorrect. You can actually tell another buyer what another offer is, as long as you treat each buyer fairly. You can disclose the offers as long as every buyer is given the same opportunity with the same information. That's why you can use the time sale method, because it's transparent.
Right. Yeah. So that's why this time sale works. So the time sale it's an online platform. And what program are you using?
I use Realtor. I used to use Market Buy, but there's also Open. There's Props. There's plenty of other ones out there.
There's a number of different ones. So basically, when you're going to the listing presentation, how are you presenting this strategy to the sellers?
So one is obviously the big frustration from sellers, because a lot of people who are selling right now are also in the process of buying. And they're experiencing the frustration from the marketplace, where they're saying, we're sick and tired of the multiple offer situation where we don't know where we need to be, and we're just throwing out numbers in the vain hope we may get it. So we're sitting down with the owner and saying, this is how we go about selling the property. We've got a pretty set structure to it. So, for example, we typically launch the property on a Monday, show it Wednesday, twice on Saturday, Wednesday again, twice on Saturday, and I finalize the sale on the Sunday. Throughout that entire period, the buyers get notified and the sellers get notified in real time if another offer is made, and they can see where that offer is. Now, as I said, the offers we can't disclose conditions or things like that, because those conditions can change throughout the campaign. But it gives the seller that confidence that everything is being left out there. They've got the true market. And I've had plenty of sales where we may have only had one or two offers, and the seller's gone, we've got the truth. And that's, for me, is a big thing, is actually just getting to the truth in real estate, rather than this whole charade that a lot of people are saying and going, oh yeah, we got the best price because we did the multiple offer and we may have got 20 offers, but did the buyers get the chance or the opportunity to actually put in their best offer in a transparent environment?
Yeah, really the only way to know is in a transparent environment.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's what this timed sale or online bidding platform offers, is a transparency similar to what an auction does.
Correct.
However, it's an online, and there can be conditions attached.
It can be conditions. The buyers, the seller doesn't have to take the highest offer. They can choose which offer they want.
Yeah.
So if we've got at the end of the campaign and say there's two offers, $2,000 between each, the lower one's unconditional, the higher one's conditional on finance and building and pests, the seller might choose to go with the lower one. And the buyers understand that as well, because they've been educated throughout the entire process. They know that, hey, at the end it may not be it, but at least they've been given their best foot forward. And we've seen plenty of times where owners may have actually choose to go with a higher offer with worse conditions, because the buyer might be a first home buyer. Had that happen in St. Lucia, where a unconditional offer was $2,000 less. A conditional one for 7 days finance, 7 days building and pests was $2,000 higher. But the higher one was first home buyer, and the seller wanted to give that buyer a chance. And so, against my professional recommendation, they went that way. Thankfully, went unconditional. But
yeah, it gives the owner the choice, and it gives everyone the exact same fairness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you do this with every sale now?
Yeah, it's either for me, it's time sale or auction. This is
They're the only two. You don't price properties anymore. No offers over, no.
Oh no, I do offers over. So for the time sale, it uses offers over because it sets a baseline for the marketplace. Because I'm not a big fan of no price marketing. I think like you see what's happening in the media and everyone's talking about no prices and things like that. And it's a big frustration from the marketplace. I've always been a big advocate for putting a price on things, or at least offers over, to give buyers a guide, because I also get very frustrated when there's no price. Having just gone through the buying experience again myself, trying to find out a range or a guide of to where it needs to be, even just for normal for sale, is a massive issue in the marketplace. And I think a lot of agents are hiding behind the no price marketing strategy to avoid having that conversation with an owner at the listing presentation as well. So obviously we've seen a big uplift in prices over the last 12 months or 2 years, but it shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that hard to buy a place personally.
Yeah. It's really seems to combat a lot of these issues that are out there, because I think a lot of agents are not pricing properties because so many agents are under scrutiny for underquoting.
Yeah.
And it's not always their fault, mind you. I know there's definitely instances of agents purposefully and not being genuine with their price quotes so that they just attract more buyers, and that's not on.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not the agent's fault. Right. Especially in a rising market when you're looking at data that's 3-6 months old to base your sale.
Definitely.
And with the time sale, it gives people the opportunity to make an offer immediately, not just on the last day at auction.
Correct.
Which is really, they can make an offer on the first day.
Yeah. Well, we just had one which finished, we launched last week, where the offers came in. We didn't allow offers from the Wednesday. We opened the offers on the Saturday. We started getting offers straight away from people. And after speaking with the owner, we brought the end timer forward to the Tuesday instead of the Sunday because it was just simpler. It was cleaner. Seller was happy with the result. The buyer was happy with the result because we didn't have to drag it out. It gave everyone that same fair chance. Everyone knew what was going on. The playing field was level. It happened to me once where I turned up to bid in an auction and there was a sold sticker on the property. The agent hadn't told everyone that they were accepting offers prior to. No one was given that same fair chance.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that shouldn't happen in trying to buy a place if I'm interested. And I should know if for that place, if I'd been notified that an offer was being made, or different situation if it was through a time sale, I would have received an email telling me that the time has been brought forward. I would have received an SMS saying the time has been brought forward. I would have been notified the entire way through that offers are being presented. And hey, here's your chance, rather than the whole good luck.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about the time sale system, because everyone's details are in there. As soon as there's a change made, an automatic text can go out. So it's not like up to the agent to notify everyone themselves, where things could possibly get missed by accident.
Yeah.
And what do your sellers feel like when you're presenting this strategy of the time sale? Are they generally excited? Is it something that's quite new, so they're sort of unsure about it? What's generally, how do you find the presentation?
Yeah, so for a lot of owners, they're first a little bit apprehensive at first, but very upfront about that, because it's not something that's done common. But where I can explain the process, I can show them a lot of the case studies of the results we've been able to achieve by just getting to the truth of the matter, really helps them out. And for a lot of people who have gone through the buying process, they can go, I wish that we had this for when we were buying, because then at least we would have known where things were. We may not have missed out on some properties we probably would have bought. And like the owners who have gone on the journey with me, I'll be very upfront. I haven't had any negative feedback from owners who have gone through the process. It's been funny. I've had some owners who on the final day or the day before it's due to finish, they're like, Brett, I'm not sure if this is the right option for selling our place. Like, we haven't had any offers yet. And I can see that in the background, we've got 9 buyers registered. Buyers have been logging in, checking out. They've downloaded documents because I get notified if they do that. And I go, trust the system, trust the process. And they're like, oh, I'm not really sure on this. Then 15 minutes before the end timer, the offers actually really start kicking up overdrive. The sale might go 20 minutes, half an hour past the end time, because if someone makes an offer in the final 5 minutes, the timer will extend 5 minutes every time an offer is made. It blows past what the sellers were hoping for, and they go, Brett, this is the best option we could have done. And their mentality behind it has changed dramatically. And that's why I recommend it. So
how long's the longest auction gone for? 5 minutes, it resets in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
How long has it gone on for?
My longest myself has been about 48 minutes over time, because I finish mine on a Sunday. I just always find that's when most people are available.
Okay.
And I've got an agreement with my kids that once it finishes, we go for a swim. But it went for 48 minutes over time. What was happening is that these buyers were basically signaling to each other that they were going to be making offers in the last second. And so they'd be sitting there waiting for the timer to hit for 4 minutes, 55 seconds, and that hit submit offer, and you'd be... thought this was done, and it was going up in, at that time, $500 increments. So after that sale, I stopped doing $500 increments, and I upped it to $1,000, and now it's $2,500 minimums. But
I think someone else in the office had to pause one night because it went for 3 hours or more.
Yeah,
and it got to 7 o'clock, and the agent had to pause it and restart it.
Yeah, there was
the next day.
I remember watching it and just going, that one's gone a bit long.
Yeah, that's a bit too long.
Yeah,
but hey, that's a good outcome.
Oh, the owners were happy. Like, the owners were excited because they're watching it and seeing everything happening, and they're thinking it's like a horse race for them.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like, they've got two people that they're cheering on, and they're like, oh, there's another offer. This is fantastic.
And how exciting is that for an owner selling the house? They can sit at home with the screen open, literally watching their online bidding happening in real time, rather than just, having a price and waiting for the agent to call and
being reactive.
Tell them what's going on.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the content. Just quickly, if you're interested in knowing what it might look like for you to own your own real estate business and brand, then that's what me and my team do. We help agents to create, run, and grow their own agency and brand so they can earn higher commissions and set up a better life for themselves. If you're interested in what that might look like, just click the link in the show notes and book a call with me or one of my team members, and we'll find out whether or not this is a good fit for you. Now let's get back to the episode.
Yeah, and that's the other part. Like, I've found some of the feedback I had from people when I first started doing is like, oh, Brett, would older people have an issue with this platform? And one, no, like, they've all bought on eBay. But two, a lot of people go, it's really intimidating. Like, if we were doing an auction, to have them turn up to the property, put their hand up, have everyone in the room or at the property look at them to make another bid, whereas they can sit back at home with their family around them and go, okay, we'll make another offer. Okay, we'll make another offer.
Yeah, it's way more stressful and intimidating at auction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially, if you're quite an introverted person or a private person who doesn't necessarily want everyone knowing who you are and how much you're spending. Yeah. And you've got to stand at this public auction and, everyone's looking at you.
Yeah, and if your competitor makes a bid, everyone just turns their head and looks at you and goes, your turn, make a bid.
And then the auctioneer usually points, makes a joke of it or points you out or, so we see that quite often. Mate, moving on to marketing, because I know you're quite consistent with your marketing. You're quite big on community marketing, which I always love. I think it's very important for agents who focus on a farm area or a postcode to really, you got to get involved with the community. What types of things are you doing to make an impact with your community?
So first one is I host the local trivia night at the Bowls Club. Yeah, I've been doing that now for 14, 15 years. It started off, I competed there. It was just a lot of fun. We'd rock up as a team, as an office, and compete. And then they started inviting me around and said, oh, Brett, do you think you'd host it for us? Because the guy who was doing it went away. And I'm like, okay, did it for a couple of months. And they came to me and said, Brett, would you mind hosting it permanently? And that was, I said, 14, 15 years ago. So that gives me 3 hours where I'm in front of my community of about, usually about 100, 150 people rock up each Thursday night and do that. And from there, I've probably pulled in something like 20 to 25 sales directly from that because they see me as a real person, not as sort of the fake agent sort of thing. Yeah. Like, there's nothing better than I like than leaning against a bar with a beer in my hand and having a chat with an owner who walks over and goes, hey, Brett, been meant to have a chat with you about actually my place and doing that. Second one is I got very involved in the local Facebook community group to the point where I reached out to the admin of it, who was honestly not doing much, said, mate, do you mind making me a moderator of it? I'll clean it all up from all the spam and crap and started doing that. Mm-hmm. And so I took over that, which led into me doing a lot of business owner interviews where I would get our video go out, and we'd go out, meet a local business owner, sit down, have a chat with them like we're doing here right now, allow them to promote their business, because the biggest issue for a lot of small business owners is promotion, getting their name out there and getting in front. And we've got the wonderful facilities here that we've got to be able to do that. And I said, I'll sponsor a couple of $100 in Facebook marketing for you to give you guys a chance. And of course, the cross benefit is it does promote me, like without a doubt, and I'm very upfront. But like we had a local bar who I rocked up to, had a chat with them. They then got in front of the Courier Mail and the local foodie groups and things like that, and they went viral off that. So like I found that to be a really handy thing. If I see a local business that's opening up, they've got a coming soon thing, I'll try and find them, reach out to them and have a chat. And I want to sort of find some of those really cool niche businesses that maybe people don't know. So not always the local coffee joint or things like that, but just a weird little thing like massage place that's in Toowong. As I said, hairdresser.
Yeah.
And there, which is great because I need a new hairdresser. And now
Yeah, you've done a number of great videos about local businesses, and I think that's just like a really easy and smart move. It's fun. It's supporting local business. Local business all loves supporting other local businesses. And, you know, they're all talking to locals all the time. So if they're ever in a conversation about real estate, if you've helped them out, what's the chances they talk about you? Like
100%. And it's more about just giving back a little bit and sort of not being stuck in the office. And I'd much rather be out there chatting with people out in the community and finding out those really cool little stories that you find out when you're starting to have a chat with someone over a period of time. Like I was chatting with Tyler, who runs a pottery business. He runs a pottery business out in Auchenflower, and I was chatting with him on this. He's got this really cool commercial space and that, which I was like, what a cool business. I would never have done anything like that and or found out anything about this, but he posted up in the local community group. I reached out to him. He said, yeah, let's go. Let's do an interview. And that's involved me sending clients to him saying, hey, here's a really cool thing to do.
Yeah. And so that's a really interesting thing that you reached out to the moderator of the local page. Yeah. A lot of people wouldn't even think to go that far. But, you know, you've also got to be careful not to, you know, no local page wants a real estate agent spruiking all of their bullshit real estate stuff on there.
Definitely not.
Fact, they don't want to see your listings on there. They don't give a fuck about your sales results.
Yeah.
So you got to tread a fine line in, I'm a real estate agent, but I'm not here to promote myself. Right?
Yeah, no, I put it to a democratic vote in the group because the guy who was adminning he was a LinkedIn marketer. He basically just set this group up as a thing for him to promote his LinkedIn, which wasn't really great.
Yeah.
And so I got there and I said, okay, hey, I'll come in, clean up all the spammers and stuff like that. And that was a fun process that I did between the Christmas break, and culled the group down from 12,000 down to 8,000 after getting rid of all of the crap that was in there. Said to the community, hey, do you want business posts every day or would you like it just on one day? And the community overwhelmingly said, just do it on one day. Like, great. So we do a business post Thursday, where each Thursday morning, I'll put a post up at 5 a.m. schedule, thank God, and say, hey, it's Business Post Thursday. Post up your local business, make a recommendation, and go from there. And people post up their local businesses. Like it went out today. I think there's been something like 60 or 70 businesses that have posted their things in there. Mine will be, for myself, it'll be scheduled later on, but it's not like this just sold. It might be a testimonial for myself, but I only ever do that every 2 weeks in that because I don't want it to be about me.
Yeah.
So like today's video that's going up is a before and after video of probably being styled.
Yeah.
And just talk about the benefits of styling and just giving information about what's going on. And like that community group worked really well during natural disasters and things like that as well.
That's the way to go with a community group. Don't talk about your results. Just talk about information that may help people.
Yeah.
No one really cares that you sold a property for $100,000 over reserve agents.
I've never liked that kind of marketing either.
Nah.
So it's not me.
Yeah. You know, everyone's obsessed with growing like a big team, you know, in real estate, and it's just all the time, more and more. You got to have an EBU if you want to do these sorts of results, you know, and you're not like that. You've always worked solo.
Yeah.
You know, you've tried an associate once or twice, but you didn't really like it. You have a VA that helps you.
Yes.
So that's full time and you work really well with them. Why is it that you like this style of just sort of working solo?
I like working solo. I tried the idea of working with an associate or then the whole EBU structure, But I just realized it's just not me. It's really just not in my nature to work in that sort of environment where I'm very self accountable. I don't need to have the team pushing me along to do things. No, and so every time I'd get there, if I got busy and I was like, oh, okay, I'm running out of time, maybe I need to put someone on. I'm like, no, it's just a process issue. So just refine the process of what you're doing, and you won't actually need to put on a team member, in all honesty. So like, it's a strange thing. Whenever I got busy, or if I thought, okay, what's going on, I always took my calendar and I just booked all my appointments from Monday 8:30 a.m. and said, when would I finish my week? If all my appointments were back to back. And if anyone's honest with themselves, most people finish their week usually around about Monday 4 p.m. They don't actually put in a full week's worth of work. They put in a day's worth of work over a week. And so I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll finish it Tuesday 12 o'clock if I did that. I've got an extra 2.5 days in the week to actually finish to do all my work. So there's plenty of time available. It's just I'm not being efficient with my time. So become more efficient with my time and I'll be fine.
So you're super efficient when you're in the office.
I try to be.
Like there's not a lot of downtime.
I try not to get distracted too much. Like and I've been very upfront with the team. Like the worst time of year for me is the first week of January when everyone comes back from their break and everyone starts asking each other how their holiday was. Did you have a good time off? How was Christmas? What did you get for New Year's and stuff like that? I really hate the small chit chat and stuff like that because I'm like, I'm here to work. Like I'm here to work. I'm here to do my job. I'm here to look after my clients. I don't need to do the socialization side of things. Yeah,
which not the small talk.
No, and it's never really been me on that. Worst question I asked is, how was your day? I've always disliked that question. So my wife doesn't ask me that question.
Walk me through the economics, because we're always told you've got to have a bigger team to earn more, to do more. But, that comes with costs and things like that. When you work solo, you're only worrying about one wage, your own, and one set of marketing, your own. What's your overhead compared to what you see agents running like teams of 3?
Oh, I remember years ago, I'm reading a book that was put out about EDUs and frameworks and costings and stuff like that. And they were saying that each person who comes in can't just add in their own wage. They have to actually 2x their wage to actually make it profitable.
Really.
And so I'm like, why would you do that? Like if I remember someone saying that there's a team that was writing, I think at the time, it was like 1.5 million. It was the overheads were costing them like 1.4. And so they're turning $100,000 profit on the EBU. I've gone, that doesn't make sense. Like, where's the economics in that? That team would be better off cutting back one person or two people and sort of doing that. Now, don't get me wrong, like there's some great EBUs out there and great teams. But again, it's just not me. Like I do have a team to support as well. 2 kids, wife, all that fun stuff, dog. But it's not in my nature to do that. And like, getting a VA was probably the best thing I've ever done. Like that's one of those things where people always say if they get an EBU, should have done it years ago. I should have got a VA years ago because I work really well with that person. Don't get me wrong, I got my great one straight up. But the overheads are like I try and keep it minimal. I try and keep it minimal to make it work. So I'm not stressed out about certain things. Like I'll be very upfront. I've got a very nice lifestyle where I choose my own hours. My clients understand that, and I don't want the headache of having to deal with EA that doesn't rock up.
Yeah, so you're a different style of agent because you don't work Fridays, right? So
no.
Fridays off, Sundays off.
Yeah.
And you leave the office by 4 p.m. every day.
Yeah. Well, when my eldest daughter was born and I was holding her, I said that I want to be there for her at dinner. I don't want to, like, when she starts school, I want to be able to pick her up from school where I can, or from after school care and things like that, because I understand the dynamics of it all. And so I just started saying no to people. Like someone said, "Oh, can we catch up at 6:30 at night?" And I've said, "I'd love to catch up with you at 6:30 in the evening. However, I've got to pick up my kids from school or daycare, and unfortunately, like if I don't pick them up by 5:30 or 6 o'clock, like they keep them." And they go, "Oh yeah, no, completely understand." And people understand that professional no. Just by saying no to people and going, no, I can't do that. I've got a commitment elsewhere. I'm taking my daughter swimming on a Friday. So I booked that in to make sure that I can't do that.
Yeah.
And so, I
think that's really important because a lot of agents are just obsessed. Like as soon as they get that opportunity, they'll drop everything to, and they'll cancel being home on time and they'll make sure that they get to the listing presentation first because, there's an opportunity and I can't miss it.
Yeah.
But it in 95% of cases is not going to matter.
People will work with you.
Work it with you.
Yeah, if they want to work with you, they'll understand that.
Yeah.
And sometimes the client that's like, no, I need to see you on this day, and they can't do any other time. Like, don't get me wrong, I can move things around if need be.
Yeah.
Like I do take the last Friday of the month to myself.
Yeah.
But like. Sometimes some of those clients aren't the clients you want to work with.
Yeah. If they're demanding that you have to be there tonight, I mean, obviously, if they're like, "Oh, I'm only in town for a day," it's got to be today. I'm sorry.
Yep.
And they're like that. But if they're sort of demanding that you be there, I mean, that wouldn't happen very often. But that would be a bit of a red flag to even work with that person.
Yeah, 100%.
You've got to have your boundaries.
Yeah, and the ability to just professionally say no to someone. It's like if someone called you up and said, "Oh, hey, I want to see you on Saturday at 11 o'clock to look at my place." I've got an open house on. I can't move my client around to fit in that appointment. So I'd love to be able to do that. And I explain to people that, hey, unfortunately, I'll be with my daughter on the Friday. I've taken her for swimming lessons, so it wouldn't be right for me to cancel on her, would it? And they're like, no, I wouldn't want you to do that. I'm like, great, no worries. So I can do Thursday 4 o'clock. I'm happy to do a Monday morning at 8 a.m. if you want to. I can do a Saturday afternoon because I will work a full Saturday.
Yeah.
Like that's a big thing for me is that I've always grown up working from 8 a.m. Saturday through till 5 p.m. on Saturday. Right. And so if I've got appointments, if I've got a few free open house spots in 2, 3, or 4 o'clock, I'll happily book in a presentation at that time.
Your average days on market for your properties is 13 days, which is really good. It's much better than the average. Why do your properties sell so much quicker than others?
Sometimes I think they don't. I think sometimes they take a bit longer than a lot of people because I do dictate the sale terms. Like I do set up my properties as a campaign, where it's over a 2-week campaign, launch on a Monday, finish the Sunday week. So that's why it's at 13 days. But what I found is that looking at the analytics on realestate.com and Domain, the attraction of the property drops down dramatically after 2.5 weeks. And after that, you're starting to deal with people who are sort of, they're not active in the marketplace. They're sort of just, I don't know, been watching the property and they're like, oh, maybe we'll go and see it. Whereas the hottest buyers are in that first 2 weeks. So why not take advantage of that? And that's where you're going to get the best offers. I've never gotten a great price for a property when it's been on the market for a month and a half.
And what's another great strategy you use to get more seller leads?
I'm very big on the e-marketing, but a lot of it's more prospecting upstream, so to speak, where I'll use MailChimp a lot. We've got a lot of information going out through there. And it's more about owner education, keeping them up to date with what's been going on out there, maybe giving them some tips around things. But when I see that the owners start clicking on certain things, that triggers in the system through my VA to say, hey, Brett, this person needs a call.
Right.
This person's been downloading your information on styling or before and after on styling.
And how often would you send like a newsletter out?
Newsletter goes out quarterly. So it's I tried the monthly and I found that my open rate dropped dramatically. So I said, right, that's not my target. I'll do it quarterly, and so I'll get about a 70% open rate and probably about a 50% click-through rate on my MailChimps going out quarterly. Whereas when I started doing monthly, I saw more unsubscribers. I saw more a lower click-through rate. So I said, right, that's my lane, so to speak. And then basically I'll have the desktop appraisal, which goes out every 6 months for that particular property. Just for the owner, that's all done through my VA, so she looks after all that for me.
And then very importantly, from those emails, you see who clicks on the links, who opens the email, obviously. Do you prioritize like calling all those people?
No, the first priority is actually the emails that bounced. So
okay.
that's the first priority, is because if the emails bounce, it means that they've moved, they've changed jobs, they've blown their quota on email, whatever it is. So that's the first person to call, because a lot of agents through their CRMs won't actually get that information of what emails bounced. And so I'm like, right, if I can get their new email address, I'm the only agent contacting them, and the other agents are still just spamming their old email that keeps bouncing back to them.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's so good. Of course.
Yeah.
You want to be the only person with the details, right? So bounced emails, make sure you contact those people first, update the email, then you're probably the only agent that's now emailing.
Correct, because they may move overseas, or they've just been spammed or whatever from too many agents. Like I say to a lot of my buyers, just set up a new email address for your property search. I do it myself.
Yeah.
Just Brett Andreasson property search at gmail.com.
Yeah.
And then when I'm done, I'm just shut it down.
Yeah.
That way it's all, I don't have to get in what means to my main thing. But yeah, that's been a big one. And then it's prioritized based on what they've clicked through. So if they've clicked through some information on property management, well, great, that's an escalation to the property management team. If they've clicked through on styling, well, great, I'm going to be having a chat with them on styling on my next conversation with them. If they've downloaded multiple suburbs, great that it might have triggered that they're looking at making a shift. And I've got a couple of suburbs in my report which I don't sell in, but I know it's a destination area for my marketplace. So I've got a report that goes out for the Sunshine Coast, a report that goes out on the Gold Coast, and people download those. And if I can identify that they're likely downsizing to that area, well, I know that they're going to be making that shift. And that might be 6 months before they actually do it.
Mate, that was all top info. We're out of time, but I want to thank you again. You're always so full of good chat, good strategies, always got something new to share. Thanks again, mate. The audience loved the last episode. I'm sure they're going to love this one. Appreciate your time. Brett Andreasson, everyone. Big round of applause from those listening. And if you like this content, by the way, please help me to share it with more people. Help me to make more of this content for you. By give me a like, a comment, share it with someone, do all of those things that helps the old little robot algorithm do its thing. You'll be helping me out. Appreciate you so much. Thanks for listening. See you on the next episode. Nice one, brother.
Cheers, man.
Beautiful. All right. Thanks for tuning into the Get Keen podcast. If today's episode got you thinking about starting your own real estate business and building your own brand, Plum Partners may be able to help. Book a call using the link in the show notes, and let's see if we're the right fit to help you create, run, and grow your own real estate brand. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and follow me on Instagram at Dan_Lee_Plum. Until next time, keep getting keen.